Hello everyone, welcome back to Higher Max. As usual, I am very excited to have you all here today. As you can see from the title of the video, we will be discussing a review on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 1, Episode 2 and 3. There's a lot of drama for us to dissect today. We were so lucky that we were able to get a double whammy last week. Before we continue on, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the socials, my personal one linked down here below, and my second page called Confessions of a Black Girl, as you can see right here. And let's get into this video. I'll first start off with episode 2 and then get into episode 3. The main drama in episode 2 was between Lisa, Heather, and Whitney. And as we saw towards the beginning of episode 2, Whitney and Lisa are in a conversation because Lisa is the one who provided vodka, I believe. As she mentioned in the pilot, Lisa owns vodka companies, and Whitney was complaining about the waiters and something to do with the alcohol, obviously throwing a lot of shade during the confessionals. And you know, I feel two ways about this. I mean, first of all, Whitney, Lisa did you a favor. She did not have to go out of her way, give you all that free stuff, free vodka, and to have some of her staff members working there. As a businesswoman, Lisa should always want to put her best foot forward. But if you're getting free alcohol to serve about 500 people, you really can't sit there and complain. You kind of just have to take it as it is, because you're acting like a paying customer. And I don't know, I think the way she went about it was, you know, it's just one of those things where if that happened to me, I don't even think I'd bring it up with my friend because I got it for free. Like, if I had paid to alcohol for 500 people, then, you know, go out and complain and be like, girl, like, what did you give me? But if you got it for free, ma'am, you just kind of have to roll with the punches and take it, because you're lucky she even wanted to give it to you in the first place. So obviously that's, you know, started to get into the drama, and Whitney and Heather started to have this conversation about Lisa and how they felt about her and her attitude. So when it was time to go for dinner, they've gone skiing. That was kind of the time that they all decided to bring it up. I know that Meredith, who had spoken to them, her concerns with her, but Meredith did not mean in front of everybody else, because you know, when you bring up stuff like this, Real Housewives, when you bring stuff up on the tables, there's always drama that ensues because everybody else adds their spice. That made Heather, you know, grow some wings and decided she's gonna confront Lisa, as she's gonna say to Lisa she has a problem with her. Now, I'm starting to not really understand the relationship between Lisa and Heather, because this thing, my last video, I said, hope this, you know, storyline about Heather and Whitney not knowing each other doesn't continue. As it's continued, the story has evolved. The more I'm like, what is actually going on here? More and more confused. And I say this is because in the first episode, it says she doesn't know Whitney. And what she does know of Whitney, which was a crazy party girl. And then Heather says, as I was saying in the previous video, it's a small school. Pretty much unlikely I would be able to get away with that because of the way BYU is set up. Cool, we get that. Lisa is now complaining that she sent a text to Heather. She said Heather flipped her off. I mean, personally for me, I didn't know that a thumbs up is considered a flipping somebody off, but I guess that's what it is like in Utah. That's not what got to me. What got to me is you guys are friends enough to text, and then because of the text, after Lisa had said she checked up on Heather and then Heather was being some type of way, then she decided that she doesn't want to talk to her anymore. So you obviously are close enough to talk to each other by text. Lisa, I think you guys are friends. I think you guys know each other. So I think it's shady. I think it's shady that you were denying her. The more that we learn about this, the more shady I think it is. It was interesting the way that fight went out between all of them, because Lisa was really in just I don't give a fuck what you have to say kind of vibe. She was just like, you guys can keep on saying what you want to say. I'm gonna listen. Like, if that's how you, she was kind of like, if that's how you feel about me, that's how you feel about me. What am I supposed to do? She's ready to, you know, move it on all the way on. And then obviously Jen had to inkle some of her things about her, and which had nothing to do with the situation. Even though I understand why Jen is so upset, tired about this her and Mary storyline. Tired, and we've only gotten to episode 2 at this point. Another revelation that we figured out this episode was the separation between Meredith and Seth, which was super unexpected. I really did not expect to hear that news from her. Especially finding out one of their contributing factors to the way that their relationship is now is the fact that Seth wants to go through her phone. Now, y'all let me know down below or send me a message or whatever. What do you think about that? What do you think about going through a significant other's phone? I think because he wants to do it with her knowingly, which is different from going behind someone's back. But the insinuation I felt like during that conversation was that he thinks she's busy doing things she should not be doing. Because he was kind of insinuating that she can look through his text, she can look through everything, and she will see that there's nobody shady he's talking to. But I also was a bit suspicious because I was like, what if he has another burner phone? But anyways, but he feels as if he can't say the same for her. And as you can see, they've had that conversation ad nauseum. I am wondering if there's even a possibility of reconciliation between these two. It seemed very much like we don't have a plan of getting back together because this is what his hard limit is, this is what her hard limit is. It just doesn't seem as if they're going to agree about it anytime soon. Those are the things that really stood out to me during episode 2. And now let's get into episode 3. And one of the things I found funny is Jen walking around in heels. Jen does not care about this Utah weather. Jen is literally just here to live her best life. Whether it's snowing or not, she's gonna wear 6-inch heels. She's going to slay. I really wonder how it feels like to have the snow falling on your toes. I'm sure they feel like they're about to fall off her body. I had not realized how close Meredith and Jen were. I mean, again, we've only had one episode. So when they were talking about the sleepover and the plans they had, that was kind of cute. Tell me, is doing high kicks during a sleepover like a thing, an activity that people do? Because I've gone to many a sleepover. No one has ever suggested that activity. When Jen was bringing up doing high kicks, she made it seem as if that's just something that people just typically do during sleepovers, and I had never heard about that. So I was like, okay, Miss Jen. Obviously, that's one of the things that made Brooks very uncomfortable. Brooks and his sister Chloe. Kind of take back what I was saying last video. Last video, I said that I wanted more of Brooks. I take it back. I don't know. I love that they're close with Meredith and all of that, but if Meredith wants to hang out with Jen, who are you to get in the way of that? Your mom having a separation and finding ways to deal with that should be encouraging her to spend time with her friends. If her friend made you feel uncomfortable, which is, you know what, you are allowed to feel that way. You tell your mom to communicate that with her friend. Don't force her to end her plans with her. Her daughter can come home anytime. She can see, I mean, I wonder how far her daughter goes to school, but to me, it's just not that deep for her to not be able to hang out with her friend. Do you know what I mean? Let me know. That kind of really annoyed me that Brooks felt the need to kind of parent his mom in that moment, even though, as I said, he has every right to feel uncomfortable, but there's a way to handle it, and that's not your mom icing out her friend. I think it was a sweet moment when we saw Heather, you know, speaking about her divorce, speaking about her struggles. I felt bad that she felt like she can't be Mormon and divorced at the same time. And I also felt bad that she felt as if she would stay in a marriage she's unhappy in just because that's what Mormon people do. And I understand that she said that I also see that she is part of Mormon royalty and there's a lot of pressure that way. But I'm hoping that she will start putting herself first. I wonder if she's even dating or interested in dating someone, or maybe she's still going through a recovery process. She seems like such a sweet lady who needs to live her life, you know, and put herself first because she's put so many other things and other people ahead of her happiness. I just want to see her win. And Jen was right. I think she's teaching her daughter an important lesson, prioritizing themselves, and she shouldn't take that away from herself. Now, as you can see, there's a point in this episode where Mary invites Whitney and Meredith to church, and Whitney brings her dad who is struggling with addiction, which I think is very sweet, that she wants to help him find a community, and she also hasn't been going to church ever since she left the Mormon church. Well, not Mary crying during her service. Not Mary crying. I couldn't even take this girl. There's just something about Mary that gives me bad vibes. On the note of Mary is an example for me of how you can have all the money, girl. You can have all the money and all the designer, but the outfits are not outfitting. The outfits are not clicking. The vibes are not reached. And the girlies are not understanding. I need the fashion police to put in fashion jail because it's just not working. I do not stand the fashion, Mary. Like, you can do better. Like, you can. I believe in you. Please. And she has good pieces. I don't like how they're pieced together. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. And I found it interesting when Mary started talking about her mom, because I think that's an important person we need to discuss. And she needs to tell us more about how her mom feels about her marrying her mom's stepdad. It's just so weird. And obviously I can understand Mary's mom being upset because she would think that to her mom she would natural progression of things. And that aside, get the natural progression of things. Like what is it about Mary that her grandma would skip a whole generation of, I don't know how many siblings Mary's mom has, but a whole generation of siblings and go straight to Mary. Obviously that's gonna cause a rift. And I just find that behavior so strange. She keeps talking about how she married her step-grandfather. Can we stop talking about it, because it's weirding me out so much? Like, can we stop? The girls just can't deal with it anymore. Like, please, can we stop talking about it? I want to understand her mom's position on this, because so far, the way she's explained it, her mom is unimpressed. And if I was her mom, I would be honestly unimpressed with this whole setup. Like, who can be happy with the way things are currently? So I was just talking about fashion. Honorable mention, Jen Shah's fashion style team. Low key, they remind me so much of Erica Jane's fashion team, because so OTT, they're all there to have fun with it. That's what I enjoy about her. She just wants to have fun with it. Jen, you annoyed me at the end of this episode, because this thing with Mary going to continue. I didn't know that the beef that Jen is having with Mary is to the point she does not want people to be friends with her. That she feels as if you're friends with Mary, you can't be friends with her. Because that's the vibe she was giving. I didn't know that things were that deep. Thought they had this conversation where Mary and her, I mean, even though Mary really did not apologize for what she said or how she handled herself during that altercation, now we're gonna get to the point that there has to be a rift in the group and people have to pick sides. I didn't really know that it was that deep. I don't know. I like you, but I don't know if I agree with this. I'm wondering how that's all gonna go. Now in the preview, we see that there's going to be a dinner. They're all going to sit down and discuss some of their problems. And as we know, whenever we watch Real Housewives of anything, sitting down and having a dinner is always going to be interesting when people decide to air it out. I think we're gonna have a very juicy episode next week. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. We'll be making another one following along this season, as well as other shows, so stay tuned and not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the socials as you can see here on the screen, and I will be seeing you very soon. Goodbye.